Moving on now to political disagreements. The so-called Change bloc, currently led by Yair Lapid of Yesh Atid and the Yamina party's Naftali Bennett, hoping to finalize coalition agreements between 7 different parties within the next 2 days. The haste reportedly in response to Prime Minister Netanyahu's enticing of Yamina party members to object to the unity government and jump ship. But here to discuss, we welcome back political analyst Orly Rapaport. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
All right, so what are the chances that Lapid and Bennett are actually successful in the next 2 days especially?
I want to say that I'm very optimistic, but then I sound like I'm for one side and against the other. I think it's very realistic that they will form a government for many, many reasons that I don't know if you want me to say now.
Yeah.
Or,
well, so hit me with a couple of reasons and also what this unity might look like.
So the first reason is that nobody wants to go to 5th elections right now. And so many people, let's put it this way, Bennett comes with some kind of ideology, but to begin with, he said that he's more interested, it's more important for him to have a government rather than go to another elections, because that's what he feels is important for the country. From the first time he spoke, I think, he said something in the lines of, we'll put ideology aside right now because we need to fix our country.
Even if it's unstable, though?
He was talking about the economy at the time. It was Corona when people were dying here. So things have a little bit changed since then. So his interest is to form a government. And plus, if he goes to another election, what's going to change? Nothing's going to change. We'll have a 5th one and a 6th one. Until they change the way that we do our elections here, it's going to stay the same right now, as long as Netanyahu is prime minister and heading the Likud party. The other side of this is all the Lo Netanyahu. We don't want Netanyahu.
Just not Netanyahu bloc.
Yes,
yeah.
bloc, exactly. And for them, the only thing they've been speaking about for so long is just not Netanyahu. It's very easy for them, I think, to sell giving up the ideology, which is almost non-existent, if what they deliver is having Netanyahu leave Balfour. So they will be very, very flexible. And you see people from Meretz, even Meretz party, saying we will do whatever it takes to get Netanyahu out of Balfour. For them, that's the first promise they made to the voters, and that's the only promise they're interested in keeping. I mean, along the lines of not leaving too much of their ideology behind. I don't see them now, I don't know, sipuach, the word sipuach, in English, help me?
No,
okay.
that word.
Taking over, if to say so, Judea and Samaria. Not going to happen.
Annexation, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Annexation. Not going to happen on their watch, but on the other hand, keep in mind we have Biden as president in the United States. It's not that we have much, in terms of right-wing moves or steps, not much is going to happen in the next 4 years.
Well, and it's funny because not much is going to happen because I think that there are too many ideologies in this type of unity bloc, going everywhere from left-wing Meretz and the Arab parties to the right-wing parties with Yamina and arguably even to the right of him. But something that you told me actually is that this is more or less what Bennett has been hoping for, with the exception of Meretz and the Arab parties.
Yes, Bennett has been hoping since 2013, I think, when he came into politics, the same time as Yair Lapid. They had the Brit Achim, it was called, and they went together to Netanyahu to have more power. So Bennett, to begin with, started with an ideology that is more connecting between the parts of Israel and trying to be more, again, lost the word, trying to be more diplomatic. No, more diplomatic. Okay. Like right-wing opinions he has. No one's going to take that away from him, that he's very right-wing, both from like the side of economy and also how he sees Israel as a state and what should happen here. He is right-wing, but he's a little bit more flexible in terms of sitting with people. And not only that, Netanyahu, I think one of the biggest mistakes he made, he forgot at some point that also having some kind of correct work environment or some kind of
not micromanaging as Bibi is known to do.
And also the personal skills. If you're prime minister for so long and so many people can't stand you that come out of your own party, or any person who worked with him, basically, most people who worked with him don't want to see him, don't want to hear him. They hate him. He
still poses quite the threat, though. I mean, he's pulling people away from Yamina.
I don't know if he's pulling people away from Yamina. There's one person who left Yamina, as you know, חבר הכנסת עמיחי שיקלי. Amichai Shikli, I think one of the reasons he was part of this list to begin with is to show that other than the economy and like other things that he has in his party, Amichai Shikli is a real ideologist, real right-wing ideologist.
Less pragmatic than Bennett in this case.
Less pragmatic than Bennett, and also he came from a different world. Like for him, ideology, he's never been a politician. And when you bring people who are such big ideologists, that's the price usually you pay. And I will not be surprised, by the way, that the one mandate out of the 7 that Bennett received, that Amichai Shikli represents, are the number of people who actually voted for Bennett for him to only sit with Netanyahu.
All right, well, we've got a lot of obstacles to overcome, many hurdles here. But hopefully in the next 2 days, we'll have an answer one way or the other.
Oh, we will.
Orly Rapaport, thank you so much for coming.
Of course. Thank you for having me. It was great to be here.